regardless, his video that he put out is called My Response to Reactgate. We're going to be critiquing his opinions on here. He's going to repeat the same slur that he made towards JXE there, which he's not responded to, not apologised for, or any of that. So, yeah, let's have a look at what he's saying here, and we can pass judgment.
Charlie. Charlie is tackling it head on and also capitulating or caving to some of the unreasonable takes to make himself seem more reasonable to that audience. I, on the other hand, I tackle it head on, I yell about it, I never cave, I never give in, and that probably makes me seem like a dickhead or a douchebag to the people that are not super aware of the issue, or the people that are looking at it and going, yeah, it is kind of fucked up. This person's making some good points. Why is this guy yelling? I guess he just doesn't know how to deal with criticism. And then there's the XQC way of dealing with it. XQC deals with it by literally refusing to engage with it at all, and then Misgive deals with it by being like, this guy's a clout shark, and then moving on, and being like, sarcasm, clout shark, moving on. Bro, I know this guy is fucking going crazy. I know. Dark Viper AU suggests that streamers who make react content such as Moist, Critical, Pokemon, XQC, and Hasan the Hun would sexually assault their fans if given the chance, and doubles down on it. If you meet a reactor at a party, I suggest covering your glass or outright tell them you don't want them to fuck you because they seem keen to take a person's silence for consent.
Like, to be fair, this Dark Viper kind of article that he put out, and I agree, it was 14 pages long, and people were taking individual bits out of it that they were using to try and detract from the whole thing without giving it due care and attention to the actual take that was being made. But however, if you want people to take your content seriously, Dark Viper, you're gonna not want to put incredibly what's the kind of word I'm looking for? I mean, you're not going to put in such ridiculous takes such as React contenters are basically like sexual assaults, people who would commit sexual assault. Things that are that inflammatory, that's the word I was looking for, are not things that are going to curry you favour with the people that are going to criticise, because they can do what they did and write off the criticism without properly responding to it. And he probably learnt that from the response that he got to his little article he put out, so...
Consent. People who live their lives exploiting others, their labor or careers in their own lust for money and power, who are the very sort of people who would sexually abuse someone. A reactor's career is specifically about ignoring consent and only respecting people when profits are risk. Bro, let me just say something, okay? Out of all of those people that he's like fucking crying about, this person is the only one who has out and about like destroyed, try to fucking DMCA a fan of his for beating him to the Grand Theft Auto speed run that he was doing. The only reason why I know who this fucking weirdo is because LSF ass blasted him for shitting on his own fan that beat him in the Grand Theft Auto 5 speedrun. So,
I mean, regardless of whether that's bad or not, and it is bad, regardless of whether he's done that, again, this is just well poisoning to detract from Dark Viper's actual takes with regards to reaction content. We don't need to know this, Hasan. This is clearly an attempt to try and discredit people for things not related to the actual argument that's taking place, but whatever.
For him to turn around and like take this kind of position is, I guess, not surprising. He's just like a big DMCA Andy. Like he literally DMCA'd his fan. One thing I need to do better though, and it's fucking annoying, is that because of the sea of like endless criticism that I've gotten from people, a lot of it being bad faith, that I have no way of like, I seek out the shit nonstop.
I mean, you've seen from a lot of the kind of conversations surrounding Vorsh at this point that the term bad faith is just completely fucking meaningless at this point. It doesn't have any actual tangible or quantifiable meaning anymore, where everyone will sling it around regardless of what the criticism is or what someone's saying, and it doesn't matter how actually good faith the criticism is, they will just say, oh, it's bad faith, so they don't have to engage with it. It's going to fucking cop out now, whereas it would be reasonable sometimes to be able to use it to talk down to people who are sea lining, things like that, but no, it's just become a crutch for people to refuse to engage with criticism.
Right, but I've basically gotten to a point where like I have no way of responding in a way that makes me look a little bit better. Like it looks fine to you because you know where I'm coming from. It looks fine to you because you understand what I mean. You watch me 8 hours a day. It looks fine to you. But if someone has never fucking actually watched me, and the only thing that they've seen is like an 8-hour compilation, or if the only thing that they've seen are fucking enough clips of me standing up, leaving, and they're also not content creators themselves, so they have no way of understanding what content creators are interested in or what content creators like or what motivates them, and the only thing that they hear is like one content creator that they actually like that has decided that reaction is bad for everyone else, then of course, like I have no good way of communicating that to people, effectively communicating that to people, and it sucks. So I got to get better at that. That's definitely something I used to be a lot better at. I don't want people to think that like I'm fucking...
Thinks he's acting like he's being a target of some kind of hit campaign. The people are taking an argument with him specifically, and he's being unfairly maligned for some action that he's done, as if, you know, most people within this discussion, including both Dark Viper and Jay, although Jay more so, understand that the vast majority of Hasan's reactions are reasonable. They do include enough actual transformative nature to be able to be considered ethical reaction content. He doesn't always walk away, but the action that we're taking specific issue with is that there are some times where he doesn't react at all and he does walk away. He does use people's content and he doesn't give these people proper credit. All of that kind of stuff. It's not a criticism of him specifically and his overall content. It's specific action that he's taken and continues to take, regardless of whether that is the the totality of what he does on stream.
Fucking running away from criticism, I never do. If anything, people get mad at me for maybe doing too much diving headfirst into criticism. The one guy on Twitter you saw was in good faith, but he's still wrong.
Yeah, I dive too much headfirst into criticism, says the man who is smearing people whose content he hasn't even watched. And we know that he's not watched it because he's not responded to any of the actual criticisms because of what I outlined earlier about him thinking it's a specific hit piece on him rather than a commentary on reaction content in general. He's not mentioned about the fact that it's about a specific part of his content, not the totality. And he's not mentioned the fact that that Jay explicitly said that they don't mind people reacting to their content on stream. They genuinely don't mind, as long as it is transformative and proper credit is given.
The thing is, like, this meme itself, it's wild that this combo even, it's wild that this is even a combo when most people are watching it, and the overwhelming majority of content creators, including myself, love when people react to whatever we make, right? This is true. The myth of mutually beneficial react content. I consent is the reactors. I consent is 99.9% of content creators. And I don't says random YouTuber who no one is reacting to. Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? Now, this was about the Dark Viper AU guy who said that reaction content is similar to, date rape. Like, literally said, I would fear being around someone who react to people's content because they're not asking for consent. And,
I think that, again, that comparison there by Dark Viper just completely negates all of his arguments because people aren't even going to be bothering responding to what he's saying when they can just disregard it because of how inflammatory that is. So I think that's a bad take. But the idea that like 99.9% of content creators are fine with you just pinching their content and then not even creating something transformative, I would absolutely disagree with that. And Jay even had on their video a collection of different content creators from different sides of YouTube who have different politics, who have different ideas, who do different stuff, and they all came to a similar conclusion that as long as you're reacting and as long as proper credit is given, it's fine. The issue is when you're just borrowing someone's content for clicks to be able to entertain your little army of drones whilst you go off for a piss, and you actually contribute nothing to the reaction. Again, he just belies all of what he's saying here because it's very, very clear that he's not engaging with the criticism at all and hasn't even bothered looking at what the criticism is because his rebuttal to it isn't in any way substantive with regards to the specific criticisms levied. It doesn't make any sense. And he's talking about Dark Viper here, Ghost Dad, but same difference because there was a similar kind of level of criticism, although Dark Viper went further in saying including an entire piece of content that you use as a reaction is still unethical, which I disagree with Dark Viper, more in line with what Jay is saying in this regard, right? But the idea that Hasan is actually engaging with criticism is just absolute nonsense, absolute nonsense. I think that the issue again here is because he's not watched the video and he's not entertained the actual criticisms, he thinks that, well, if you hate reaction content, then you're outside of 99% of new video creators or whatever, when that's not really the overall criticism from everybody. The vast majority of the criticism is just react hard, which I think is a fair criticism.
I would cover my drinks around them. Like, he went into fucking town. Like, it was really fucking gross. And not only gross because it's a ridiculous way to fucking talk about anything, really, but also gross because it kind of minimizes sexual assault. Anyway, I mean, it's probably clout chasing, but if we are to be charitable, or if we try to be charitable, even though I think that, from what I understand, I've never watched any Dark Viper content, but it seems like he makes decent videos. Like, a lot of people are fans of his. It seems like he's like a leftist in Australia or something, but not really a leftist, but like a liberal in Australia, whatever, center left. And he's good at making videos when he's making videos about himself, but he goes fucking off the rails whenever he has a pet peeve issue that he just hyper focuses on. It's an analogy. I know, man. I know what is an analogy, but the analogy doesn't work if you make these comparisons to rape all the fucking time, okay? It's not a consent analogy if the impact is not as damaging as literally date rape, okay? That's the problem that people have with. I know that it's very hard for logic lords to who fucking LARP as the most rational person on the planet who can't have a normal conversation without liking it to rape all the time. The problem with rape is not just the fucking lack of consent in that circumstance. Lack of consent in and of itself could be analogous to a million different things, but lack of consent when you make it to rape, you're basically stating that the damage is as insane as the damage is as like problematic and as fucking damaging and destructive as rape. I made this meme, and the problem.
And I think I agree with Hassan's criticism of that take there, and I think he's correct in saying that it minimizes the impact of sexual assault to make such a kind of wild comparison, kind of disanalogous comparison between the two things. When Dark Viper could have chosen literally any other possible analogy for something which doesn't require consent without without having to resort to something as inflammatory as you are like a rapist, right?
With a meme like this is that it, of course, does not see the valid side of the criticisms, right? The valid sides of the criticism are this. If I watch a content creator, okay, it doesn't matter if it's helpful to them or not. If they don't want me to watch them, then they're right. And you guys that have been here for a long enough time know this already.
No, it's not about people not wanting you to watch them. It's about creating something transformative and not using their content as filler whilst you go for a piss. That's the issue.
Right? You know that that's my perspective. And there have been instances where people have said less than like overtly positive things. And I immediately stop watching. I say, I'm sorry. And I never watch again, including the person who like originally started this conversation. There was like a year ago during one of my.
You retroactively saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch your content again. That's not stopping the fact that you have at least at some point used their content without any kind of consent and used their content without like prior regard. It doesn't that section of content of theirs that you freebooted, that's not going to go away just because you say sorry. That doesn't retract the thing that you've engaged in. Whereas if we went back to the previous created a new etiquette in which if we were going to use somebody's content and weren't using it as reaction, we're just using it as filler. And we got consent first, like for example with Hasan and Channel 5 or with JCS, where they don't really care whether he reacts or not, regardless. Or they happy for him to use their content, but that's a prior agreement that they have. Whereas, for example, say I wouldn't mind Hasan using my content to be able to entertain his audience because I'm a very small creator, and that's 40,000 people watching my content, which is more than I've got views for any video of mine ever. That's probably more like watch hours than I've got on my entire channel. I wouldn't mind, but that's me in my position. I'm not a different content creator who would have a different opinion, and just like that's the issue, is that there would be some kind of content who would dislike that regardless, and by apologizing, that's better than nothing. But if you'd have got their consent first and then they said no, you'd avoided the whole thing, which I think the prior consent paradigm for freebooted content, not reacted content, right? Freebooted content. I want to make it very, very clear. There is a distinction here between content that's being freebooted to entertain your stream whilst you watch it and don't comment, and then there's content that you are reacting to and creating something transformative. I do not think you should need to grab consent for someone before you create proper transformative reaction content, because why, for example, if I was trying to respond to somebody with negative criticism, like I'm doing here, like I'd be doing with fucking Ben Shapiro or Stephen Crowder or some shit, I don't care about their consent, and I don't think anyone should care about that consent, because it's all about the response. It's all about taking their content and then saying, this is what I think is wrong with it, this is what you should change. Otherwise, we're never going to have a proper dialogue with regards to that. And that's why I think that something like reaction content, you shouldn't have to police it with prior consent because it is transformative by nature. But the fact that freebooted content, like when Hasan takes somebody's videos and just plays it to his empty chair, that's where the issue lies. And that was the main issue with what Jay was saying in the original video.
My cooking segments, it auto-played a video of someone's that I did not know. And that person did not like it. They've apparently also done a React Harder meme to Charlie as well, Moist Critical. And I admitted that I was wrong in that situation immediately. I was like, because that's true. If someone doesn't want you to fucking watch them, it was valid to be like, hey, that's fucked up. Please don't do that again. But milking that for an entire fucking year and continuously making videos about it is crazy.
So this, first of all, right, let's be abundantly clear. It's not been a year, Hasan. It's been 5 months. Second of all, it's not been multiple videos. One was just a stream where they talked about your response to their original criticisms, and the other was a long-form video essay about the issue of reaction content, not some kind of hit piece on you, as I mentioned earlier. This is a complete misappropriation of what's been happening with this whole dilemma. It's just outright lies. As I mentioned in my last video, just Hasan completely lying about what has been what's actually happened in this scenario. And again, he's clearly not watched it. He's clearly not engaged with it because he's gone back and saying, well, if someone doesn't want me to watch them, then I won't watch them. When that was not Jay's point at all. It was just, if you're going to watch it, create something transformative. That was their main thrust of their argument. It's even explicit in the video where Jay says, I do not mind people reacting to my content. It's very explicit there. But Hasan is just either too stupid or too high and mighty to even bother recognizing that that was the issue that they had.
Easy. The thing is, like, I will not watch their video, and every time I talk about it, like, people go and seek it out and they watch the video. The entire point is, like, to get people to watch the video a year after the fact. It's just not worth it. It's not. I feel like it's bad faith. I'm sorry. Especially considering that, like, they're right. And
you know what I mean? Just like, this is bad faith. This is, you're being bad faith with blah, 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 rather than having to actually engage with the criticism. You just smear somebody as being bad faith, and then you just leave it alone. You just ignore it. Because if they're a bad faith, then you can just ad hominem your way and get away from the criticism.
I have apologized. Like, I agree. Like, if someone doesn't want you to watch your shit, you don't watch their shit. That's it.
But you've not apologized for what was actually being criticized. You've not apologized. You said, I'm sorry to watch your content on stream, not I'm sorry for watching your content and then not creating something transformative. That's the issue.
Do I personally think it's beneficial for them? No, but it doesn't matter. It's not me. It's their video. That's the other reason. The person that we're talking about also made an 8-hour podcast with, like, Kill Stream Nazis, where they, like, basically just restreamed my stream, which I don't have an issue with, but, you know, when you do...
I mean, I made this critique yesterday. These people were not Kill Stream Nazis. These are a bunch of anti-SJWs. Again, I do not like these people. I want to make it incredibly clear that people like Mauler, people like Rags, people like Teal Deer, all of these bellends, right? I do not like any of these content creators. I think they're all incredibly toxic people who I would not want to entertain on my stream. I wouldn't want to watch their content. I probably wouldn't want to go to the pub with them, right? But being an anti-SJW is not the same as being a fucking Nazis. And the Kill Stream is an explicitly alt-right white nationalist podcast that, you know, Vosh and Destiny and all these people have all debated them on various kind of issues such as, you know, race and crime and all that kind of stuff. They're very, very well known for inviting people on for debates. The Kill Stream is something explicitly specific with regards to who creates that and the kind of politics that they espouse. Whereas what they're responding to, the 8-hour stream, for example, this 8-hour stream was people from Every Frame of Pause, these anti-SJW folks. They talked about the content for 8 hours with Adam and Sitch. But at no point was JXE involved in any of that stream. They weren't involved. It happened without their knowledge. So that's just a complete lie. It's just complete fabrication, as I mentioned yesterday. So again, but the issue is this isn't just a random clip from Hasan's stream that's being taken by someone like Jay and then said, well, look on you know, Twitter or whatever and say, look, Hasan, you made these disparaging comments that aren't very true. Can you please retract them or please do an apology so that people don't think I'm a Nazi? And Hasan's ignored this and taken all of that and put it onto a published piece of content on his YouTube channel, which will arguably get even more views than what would be on the stream clip or what was happened on stream. He only gets like 40,000 viewers or something. This response to Reactgate video has got 150k views already. So that false claim about Jay being a Nazi is spreading further and further. Like, people talk about it even on my comment section, on my video about Hasan's fucking car. Like, come on. It's not okay to make these smears and then not retract them when you know that they're not true.
Do that, it's like it's impossible for me to see it as like good faith criticism. So there's that too. There was like literally fucking Killstream Nazis on there. So if you're doing that sort of stuff, like, then
no one from the Killstream was on there. Nobody.
I don't think you're doing it in good faith. I think it's kind of sad. I think it's kind of pathetic, and I'm sure they'll keep making more videos over and over again. Ultimately, what I am
again, it just shows how little he's engaging with it, because the idea that he thinks that multiple videos are going to get made in the future isn't actually correspondent to what's happened, which is a piece of content that's been made about reaction content as a thing rather than about him. But again, the world fucking revolves around this cunt, and he thinks that everything always ties back to him because he's a narcissist, basically, where it doesn't matter who else is caught up in the discourse or who else is being talked about in the video. He thinks it's all about him. It must be just a response to him because he's the king in the castle or whatever. So much for a socialist.
going to do is like, yeah, I get up when a fucking video is playing from time to time. The reason why I don't pause it when I get up is because I care about the content above all else. I care about you guys being entertained above all else. And I know that if I pause the video,
yeah, well, then entertain it by doing something yourself. Create something entertaining as a streamer. That's your fucking job. It's not other people's job to create content for you to entertain other people with. It's not their job. It's your job to entertain people. That's what people are coming... If they're not coming to watch you, if they're not specifically there to watch what you're saying and what you're reacting to and what you're commenting on and what you're making as transformative, then they might as well just click close on your Twitch channel, find the video that you were playing to your fucking chair, and watch that instead. Come on. That's your... Like, the idea that... other people should be happy by having their content being used in lieu of your own entertainment. It's madness.
You guys are gonna be fucking annoyed. You're gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? So I would rather play it on my phone while I get up. You know what I mean? While I get up and answer the door, get the deliveries. The 10-minute period where I'm off camera sporadically when I am cooking. Of course I'm gonna do that. And the real reason why I don't care about it for the most part is because 90%, like I said, but that's what the YouTuber want, disrespectful. Wait, what do you mean? They don't even want to say don't react. They say that leaving videos only and leaving disrespectful to the creator, and they just want people to be more transformative. Okay, but that's the react hard.
Yes, that is the react harder argument, and it's the correct argument.
And most of the creators that are quite literally in here, like Nick is not green, for example, is a great example of this. Like, these are people from this community as well. They don't mind it. Like 90% of creators.
Yes, that's specific to him. You have prior consent. That's fine. You've not asked every other fucking YouTuber in the world that you may theoretically react to in the future or whatever. So how do you know they've got consent until you watch on stream and then they give you backlash for doing it and then you say, oh well, I won't do it again. Well, the damage has been done already, and that's why this prior etiquette that I mentioned before is so important moving forward.
I don't mind it, and I do react hard. Okay, I react so fucking hard that there are entire memes about how much I pause. We totally forgot about this for some weird reason because one content creator with a relatively sizable audience that has partnered up with a bunch of other content creators who just fucking despise me. There's this notion on the internet that like I don't fucking react hard or something. There's a reason why people call
no. That's never been the issue. And if you'd have watched the video, the video that Jay put out, Hasan, if you'd actually bothered watching it, you would know that Jay also knows that there's plenty of content that you do where you do react in a satisfactory manner with which to create transformative content. That is something that definitely exists, and Jay even mentions it in their video. But of course, you've not fucking watched it, so you don't know, and you think that there is this kind of overarching view that all you do is just play other people's stuff and don't comment. The issue isn't what you're doing in totality. It's the specific actions that you're taking of borrowing people's content while you make food or while you're gone for 10 minutes. That's the issue.
Call me Pause and Obby. It's so weird that people are now saying like when he joins, you should say you're gonna eat something and leave him alone with your chair for 30 minutes. That's why I'm like so confused by this. This is a wild take and it speaks to the power of compilations. I have 8 hours of stream you can watch. People are basically asking me to change the way I do the stream, but they've never watched the stream. If you were a stream watcher and that was something that was like frustrating you, that's a little bit different. You know what I mean? But you don't watch the stream. You've never watched the stream. You've only seen compilations of it. And you have a false notion that I do this thing where I just like fucking play a video and move on. Play a video and move on. It's not for them. But like you guys know this already. Like I pause so fucking much. Remember this shit? I paused so fucking much that when he casually explained, made a YouTube video calling out Twitch streamers, he literally mentioned me. Here, I mean, listen.
Regardless of whether someone is a pro gamer or you just have a crush on them, at the end of the day, streaming is all about entertainment, and you can watch and support whoever you want. But at least be honest with yourself about it. I've seen people be like, oh, yeah, she does like yoga at the beach, and I've donated because she obviously can't afford a proper outfit, and I've been trying to learn yoga myself. You know? Yeah, okay, buddy. And I'm a tier 3 sub to Hasan for his political views. And we're back. Thank you.
I'm sorry, what? Son of a bitch. So that's the first part about it. And then look at that. Perfect relationship with a streamer and chatter.
Thanks for unpausing the video, Hasan. Now, one thing Twitch is certainly known for.
Classic.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Classic. Like, that's a classic. You know what I mean? That's how much I pause shit and yell for like an hour and a half. That's the reason why people call me Pause and Obby. People get mad at me. That was such a good one. That was an incredible bait. I don't know how the fuck it turned into... Dude,
okay, so that again isn't a response to the criticism. And I would say the people in your chat that are getting angry with you pausing, people who call you Pause and Obby, they're bellends. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand that your job as a Twitch streamer, as a React Twitch streamer, is to react and create something transformative, as has been mentioned 1,000 fucking times at this point. You know, just tell those people who say you're pausing too much and say, look, if you want to go and watch the unedited video, Go and find it on YouTube and watch it in your own time. If you're watching me on my Twitch stream, then you'll be watching for what I'm going to add to this content to make it transformative and to create something new. If I'm not creating something new, there is no point in my camera being in the corner. You might as well go watch it in your own time. Very, very simple. And that's why those chatters calling you pause and argue, whatever, and getting angry about it, they're completely wrong. They're just not, they're just wrong.
You're not reacting hard enough to the videos. You can say that about anyone, by the way, for the record. You can say that about anyone. And there are instances where, like, if your argument is don't watch my videos on stream, okay, I don't want you reacting to my videos, valid. I will never do that again. If your argument is watch my videos but watch them harder and like react to them harder, then that's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? If your argument is watch my video for you literally did not unpause for 17 minutes.
Love you, baby.
You have a good old-fashioned father. It's Sunday afternoon. You have to visit
in modern society. Yeah, I play, like, it's the meme, the meta in this fucking community. The meme in this community is like, I'll play a fucking 1 minute snippet of a 4-minute clip and I will go to town for 60 fucking minutes on it. That's the whole point. Stunlocks, like the one that's occurring right now, is exactly what I do. That's what I do best. That's literally what I do best. And sometimes there's not going to be a fucking stunlock, okay? Sometimes I play a video and I don't stunlock on it. Yeah, I mean, here, look at this. 24-minute Jubilee video triggers Hasan Reactgate for 2 hours. Liberal teens versus conservative parents. Really?
Good.
You think I just sit there? Is that what's going on?
That's good, and that's a good thing when you're doing it. But that's not the totality of your content. Some of it is what Jay explained was you getting up and playing other people's videos to your chair for no benefit of anybody other than yourself, because you can't be bothered to make content of your own. That's the issue.
You think I just like play 1 hour and 45 minutes of the chair giving good takes? It's very frustrating that people are now like making it seem like I just fucking sit around and don't do anything. And I know immediately when someone makes that fucking meme that they just don't watch. What I feel is there are moments where I'm not all there. I'm live for 8 to 10 hours a day. There are moments when I go up and pee. The reason why I don't pause it is because if I did that, everyone would be super fucking pissed. And I care about making sure.
Yeah, whoever the people are getting pissed have massive fucking babies. And go tell them, like, look, I'm not going to steal somebody's content. If you don't like the fact that I'm pausing the video or putting something like a pause screen over whilst I nip to the loo or nip to go make food or whatever, like, if you're going to get frustrated by that, go watch another stream. Go watch somebody who's making original content, or go and watch the original video in your own time. Whilst you're here, you're watching me for my content and what I'm making of it, not somebody else's stuff. Because again, that's where the point of inflection is at the end of the day. If you're doing enough to make it your own content, then people should stay and watch you. If people are so engrossed with the content as it exists without your commentary, they should be watching it on that person's channel and not on yours. It's incredibly simple.
Sure that I care about making sure that you guys are entertained. Like, that's what I care about more. Just more than anything else. And the reason why I don't think people give a shit about that overall, like, I don't think content creators themselves get like super fucking mad about that overall, is because they like it when we're watching their videos. 99.9% of content creators love it. I'm a content creator. I love it when people fucking react to my videos. I don't care if they're like not reacting hard enough or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. No, bro, it's what you do worse. Stream will be 2,000 times better if you set a timer and only talk about something for like 10 minutes. I mean, you talked about the saying it's the exact same thing for 3 hours yesterday, and here we are still stuck on the stupid shit. I know, but there's always new people in here, and I want to address it for all.
I mean, yeah, he is a whiny himbo. Like, I mean, it just shows like either how dishonest or just actually fucking stupid this man is, that he won't even, entertain the idea that he might not actually be correct about this.
The people that are actually in here coming in with good faith to basically understand where I'm coming from. And also, you guys are in here, so you obviously know where I'm coming from. But if you look at the quote tweets on the meme that I posted this morning, it's literally everyone being like, dude, that's all you do is you're a leech. You're just an entirely bad person. Neon Taster, you didn't react to Jay's content. You took a shit while playing his video on stream. Honestly, it'd be different if you only did this with Master Chief and TV Shit Show, but full Channel 5 videos with barely any reaction sucks. I really don't think many of those viewers would go rewatch the video again, but who knows? Like, this person is fucking complaining about reactions to Channel 5. Andrew loves it. Andrew fucking loves that shit. Like, you're literally complaining about someone who loves the shit. So anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The reason why I have to address this shit though is because, first of all, the funny part of it is there are people who like don't understand content creation or why it's actually good to fucking react to videos. So they think like they operate off of like the one YouTuber that they like that said this guy sucks. So they're thinking all YouTubers feel this way when that's not the case. I've been a content creator for 10 years, man. I know. Like, can people at some point be like, okay, maybe you know what you're talking about? You watch people's YouTube.
Maybe I would say that you knew what you were talking about if you knew what you're fucking talking about, which you just don't. You're just an idiot. You haven't got the faintest fucking idea. In fact, it is an damning indictment of your own character, Hasan, that you've been in content creation for this long and you still don't get it, and you still won't even bother responding to the critiques. It's a damning indictment. That's what it is.
videos, and that's a positive way to engage with someone's content. That's a positive way to make an interaction with this community and their community. And then the other way to do that is basically by fucking doing these like call out posts and all this other shit. It's the same energy. It's by trying to attack the content creator. You're like trying to fucking tackle a piece of their audience, maybe drive a wedge between his community and try.
Yeah, the guy's piss got so boiled that he just literally called someone a Nazi. The world's first they-them Nazi.
To like grab as many fucking people as you can. That stuff does not work. That stuff just does not work in the long term. You're not going to get enough, like, you're not going to be able to farm enough hate engagements that will allow you to have a sustainable business model, like, for sure. You know what I mean? I know this. I know. I promise. I think I demonstrably have at least some level of knowledge on content creation. I've been doing it for a very long time. XQC doesn't respond, and it's the smart thing to do. Speaking like a true capitalist. Yeah, exactly. You can say it's a true capitalist or whatever, but I'm not going to be baited into watching someone's fucking video a year after the point when I've already agreed with the original point that they made. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to do?
I'm going to have a fucking aneurysm. I'm just going to have an aneurysm at this point. Gee, that was not the original point of the response. The original point of Jesus' response was, it's fine as long as you're reacting in a manner with which you're creating transformative content, and that you're not just letting your chair react for you. I'm going to actually have a cardiac arrest.
Do. The answer is, ironically, I want you to react to my video. So, like, I'm not going to do that. If the main point of contention is, don't react to my fucking videos, I did not consent to this, and then you try to get me to react to your further fucking videos, I'm not going to do that. Why the fuck would I ever do that? Why would I literally give in to what you want when I already acknowledge that you're in the right to fucking watch, in the right to say, I don't want you to fucking watch my shit, and that's fine. Isn't it funny how Charlie mentioned his Dark Viper video, how the same person told him the same thing, react harder or don't watch? Charlie did the same thing as you and never watched their vids again, but you're the only one catching flack? Yes, because I respond, because I'm a fucking idiot. This is why it gets very frustrating after a while, because, like, I at least am trying.
They explicitly said they're fine with you watching the video as long as you're doing it well. Oh, God. Oh. I'm gonna lose. Lost so many brain cells engaging with this discourse, but you know, everything for the views.
I'm making an effort to be as charitable as possible. I'm making an effort to like respond to it. You know what I mean? And then people say, Hasan, you don't take criticism well. But there is a degree of criticism that I can charitably understand and respect and respond to, which is what I'm doing when I say, you're right, but what else do you want? And then there is I don't really give a shit. I just want you to watch my favorite content creator's video. And especially because like it's a non-issue that turns into an issue. What? You're misrepresenting this argument? Can you watch this clip?
In this reality, XQC doesn't use other people's labor.
I'm so sick and fucking tired of this, dude. I hate this. This guy is literally, look at his videos, man. Look at his fucking videos, bro. Look at this channel, okay? Look at this fucking channel. He's got videos with 70K views, 94K views, 64K views. Boom, 9 hours ago, 228,000 views. What are you? Are you riding or dying for him?
Hang on, are you just not looking at the screen that you have there, where there are multiple videos with like almost 600K views? You just happened to pick out the videos that had slightly fewer views than the actual response video that he made, trying to just say this person is only clout farming, which to be fair, they probably, you know, are making some other content with which to gain more following and more views. But then again, if you have a genuine ethical problem with what people are engaging in within the community, you're going to want to be able to create content that's going to be able to reach as many people as possible so that they see your critiques, right? That's so it's partly clout sharking probably, but then, you know, that's staying with the game. If you want people to engage with your opinions, you're going to have to do it in such a way that merits some kind of response or merits being algorithmically boosted by being contentious. So, but the idea that it's a clout shark or whatever is just a non-response. It's just the lack of a response. Again, it's just a well poisoning. You're just saying, I don't have to bother listening to the critiques that you're making because you're a clout shark, because you're bad faith, because you're a Nazi.
Why? Like, are you his biggest fan and you want him to fucking look at this thumbnail? Holy shit. The real reason why he's doing this is because he wants people to react to his fucking videos. And it's very frustrating. You're a fucking idiot if you don't realize that, okay? There's good faith criticism and bad faith criticism. You literally are trying to desperately give in to what he wants to do, which is react to my fucking videos, please. That's what he's doing. But you don't know that because you're not a fucking content creator. I am. So I know what he's doing. There's two ways of doing it. Make good content, okay? And you're like, hey, please watch my video. This is sick. And then I do, and it's awesome. And that's not a parasitic relationship. That's a positive relationship. And then the other way to do it is by doing call out posts and having idiots like you operate on his behalf. You're literally you're helping him. He's not doing it because he legitimately thinks it's fucking unacceptable. He's doing it because then people will.
That again, if anyone could be described as a bad faith in this interaction, it's you, Hasan, who's all you're doing is well poisoning. Like, regardless of whether he's clout sharking or not, whether you think he's clout sharking or not, you should be able to respond to the critiques with reasonable, logical rebuttals, rather than just throwing all of your fucking toys out the pram and just saying, oh, well, all you're saying is react harder. You've mentioned a sexual assault thing. Yeah, which absolutely I agree is bad. But that's not a response to the criticism, Hasan. And it's not just Dark Viper that's doing it. There's plenty of other people who've engaged in this criticism as well. It just so happens that Jay and Viper are two of the people who have large enough fan bases with which that can carry further. People like, obviously, myself, people like Chud Logic, people with, you know, smaller channels with regards to Chud Logic, and fucking tiny channels as far as I'm concerned. People are also making claims against you because we think that what you're doing is unethical, but you know, you won't respond to us, will you? So are you doing the clout shark thing too? Like, come on, this is such an unrealistic and bad faith criticism of what has been going on in these instances. And even then, there's a good Cavanacle video. Cavanacle covered the content with regards. I mean, I think he did a really good job of breaking down like the end point of like of what Dark Viper was saying with their points and things like that. Let me bring up their channel so we can have a look at just the end bit rather than the entirety of the video, obviously. Where
you get
we've got a timestamp here at the end where he has some closing thoughts about what he thinks is ethical moving forward based upon the criticism that's been made by Dark Viper and JXE. So we're just going to take this bit and then I think he has. This is not something that I agree with, but I think this is a good way of being able to elucidate further on the end result of what Dark Viper says with their criticisms.
Even think it's ethical, especially if it's a smaller channel, you should be sticking on a video you know you're going to have a reaction to, maybe, you know, even if it's like a news report or a news story, so you can actually comment on it. You put on something as content and not knowing how you'll feel and having these organic reactions, I don't think is ethical, especially if you're like left-wing anti-capitalist and you realise about the power dynamics in capitalism which make it so unfair. So how would I reform this? Well, I would just say to people like Hasan, just take, you know, a page out of Critical's book. He perfectly, you know, realises how what he's done is wrong, even in his original video, and then he says what he will do in future. So just do that. Like, I don't understand why it's such a pushback against genuine criticism, which is legit. If you want to support other creators, don't just steal their content to power out your stream to make more money for yourself. Actually go into it with the mindset that, yes, today I'm going to talk about this video I've watched and I've liked or I've disliked, and I'm going to give you my commentary on it, just like YouTubers have to do with a YouTube video, or we'll get copyright striked, and sometimes we'll get copyright striked anyway. Not just like, I have to entertain my audience, here's a random video for you to enjoy, because your entertainment of your audience, that's on you. That's what you should be doing, and you should think about how to entertain them if that's your job. You shouldn't be using random YouTube videos that you're not going to transform as a crutch so you can stream 10 hours a day. Why don't you stream 5 hours a day and make it better quality and have less breaks? Ever thought about that? You don't have to be doing it so long every day. It's so ironic that people who really love him and even him will use that as a defense. Well, I stream 10 hours a day. What do you expect? Well, I expect you not to steal other people's content. If that means you stream less, then that is the ethical thing to do. Again, this is meant to be the biggest socialist streamer. I do not know how he doesn't understand this. So if you've made it this far, you probably think I really hate Hasan. I don't hate Hasan. I don't hate his politics. I actually respect how like he is so outspoken on a lot of the issues I really care about, and it's really great often to see someone with such a massive audience and such massive influence actually promote causes and promote politics that are very similar to mine. You know, I respect his foreign policy takes, which people don't always like because they align with mine more than a lot of like American leftists who seem to be like, you know, pro-NATO and everything like that. So I respect that a lot. But at the same time, I don't know if it's because he's so famous and is now so wealthy, he's lost touch with a lot of things. I didn't cancel him for the house or even the car, but even the car, I'm thinking like, you're trying to really make people mad again, like you did with the house on purpose. And I can understand why you're doing that because the outrage was so overblown. But at the same time, like with this, it's just really poor optics. What I meant to tell people, you know, here's one of the biggest socialist streamers. Here is him flexing his, you know, even for a joke, his 200 grand car. And here's him arguing about why it's okay for him to just like steal people's content. It's an optics thing. And I think in the last couple of months, he has given the online left a pretty bad reputation. Not that he is like the worst example of this. There are plenty of other streamers and plenty of other YouTubers who give us a way worse reputation. But because he has done so much good for the online left, I really feel like this is a massive blind spot he should address. Anyway, that is it for the video. Let's be respectful in the comments. Can we have a bit of nuance? I really hope I've cultivated an audience where we can talk about this and we can criticize people we like without getting really outraged, getting into personal attacks against me or something. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. If you want to follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Cavanacle. Come join our communities on Discord and my subreddit, and maybe check out my Patreon as well.
There you go. I've let him be able to shill on the end of that. That makes that a little bit more that makes that a little bit more ethical. Like, again, I disagree with his takes on NATO, whatever. Disagree with his takes on foreign policy. But again, I'm not a foreign policy nut. I don't really get most of that stuff, so I'm not gonna harp on that too much. But at the end of the day, him saying that if you're gonna make reaction content, you should pre-watch the video, find bits and pieces that are illustrative of the points you want to make, then show them with your rebuttals afterwards, and then use that to create reaction content. I disagree. I disagree with Cav's point here. I actually think that content which we create where you put on a stream and then you react to it, as long as it's transformative and that you're creating something that if someone's watched the original thing, they would get something out of watching your reaction, I think that's fine. I genuinely think that's fine. Maybe that is a the difference of opinion that me and Cav have on this issue. But yeah, just that gives you an overall idea of the difference between what Jay was saying and what Viper was saying, and then obviously what Cav is saying from the video that we've just seen. But anyway, let's get back to the original video.
He'll watch his shit and he will get a big bump. Why the fuck would I watch his clips if his entire fucking thing is like, don't react to my shit. Okay, don't react to people. Like, why would I do that?
Viper, AU.
I appreciate content while I attend university.
Oh, it's just this simple, chat. We don't need to watch a video on this. This is why he's pissed. This is why he's pissed. It's just that simple. Not into 25 minutes.
That's a pretty spurious inference you have there, Miskiv.
Tell me he's pissed because he's irrelevant now. He fell off. Well, you're at.
So like Miskiv is joking, and what he's trying to say here basically is that like the reason why this person is making this video is because like he's upset that he fell off, and that's the reason why he's doing it. But like it doesn't matter. Like there is a level, there's a degree that you have to like respond to it in a way where there's a degree of charitability that you have to apply.
Okay, doing something, and you fell off hard. That's just it.
And my problem is I didn't do that, and I took it seriously, and it doesn't matter.
You fell off. You had something going. Bada boom, bada bing. I don't know. Maybe you didn't move to Austin, Texas.
The spikes are from starting drama, but the content itself barely grew audience. Exactly. The inverse of that is that like every time I get into these fucking dramas, I actually lose viewership because people get mad and people get annoyed because I'm constantly fucking repeating the same points over and over again.
One long angry line later.
There are 3 different ways of dealing with this, or 4 different ways of dealing with this. You look at me, XQC, Miskiv, and Charlie. Charlie is tackling it head on, and also.
Yeah, he's going to get worse, almost certainly, yeah. The fact that, up to this point, he's not apologised for the smears made of Jay. He's not engaged with the critiques from, like, Dark Viper or Jay. He's not even responded to the actual specific critiques that were levied. He's essentially boiled them down so far that they're completely unrecognisable. It's just, he thinks the criticisms are just, don't react me unless I've given explicit permission, and react harder, which aren't the criticisms that are being levied, but whatever, right? I mean, the even funnier bit was where, obviously in the main critique of Jay's original video, Hasan didn't have Jay's channel name anywhere apart from in the first, like, 20 seconds of the video that was going on, and then after that, Jay's channel name or anything like that wasn't even included at all in the video that Hasan made, or in the stream that Hasan did, and then gets cut off before the end title, so you don't even know who Jay is from whatever credits that they've got rolling at the end of their video, right? Then in the reaction to Jay's response to that, a chatter in Hasan's chat said, oh, well, at least have the name of the content creator on the screen. Hasan said, oh, well, that's a fucking dumbass comment. Ban you. Of course I want to have the name of the content creator on the screen. I always have the name of the content creator on the screen. I agree with having the name of the content creator that I'm reacting to on the stream. Despite the fact that in the original video or piece of content that Jay had an issue with, their name wasn't on the fucking screen. Hasan wasn't even following his own rules. It just shows that he's not actually watched or engaged with any of the criticisms or any of the videos that have been made. Otherwise, he'd know that. He would know that that was one of the criticisms that was being levied in the first place.
Capitulating or caving to some of the fucking unreasonable takes to make himself seem more reasonable to that audience. I, on the other hand, am just fucking
What's the unreasonable take, Hasan? You've not told us what's unreasonable.
Going balls to the wall. Jay wasn't being bad faith. Dude, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. The amount of content does not fucking fit the bill. Do you think it's appropriate to do like multiple 8-hour fucking podcasts with a bunch of psychos, including like actual fucking Nazis, and then literally making another video? He's gonna make another video about this.
Citation needed. And again, they weren't on any of these 8-hour streams. They weren't on there. They did one stream where they took the piss out of Hasan by putting on Hasan's content and walking away and leaving their chair, right? Called reacting to Hasan's content he probably worked on very hard all by himself. And then the second stream was Jay and Mauler discussing the response that Hasan had made to that, and then there's an overall video essay about reaction content in general, of which Hasan is used as an example. That is the content that's been made.
Regardless, he's probably already made another video about this or done multiple streams over this. I'm sorry, at a certain point, it's not fucking appropriate, especially because I apologized a year ago for watching it. It's ridiculous. I'm not talking about Charlie, I'm talking about the other dude. They think it's appropriate because they see him as fighting for the little guy. Guy has millions of views, by the way. Yeah, and the funniest part about it is that you, as a non-content creator, don't understand the dynamic between content creators and other content creators. So in your mind, you're like, well, it does make sense. It does seem like it's kind of fucked up. You're just like stealing their labor. Maybe you're a graphics design guy, okay? And you think, well, this is exactly like when the fucking big company commissioned paintings from me and then never paid me for it or some shit like that. So that's the problem. The problem is like you have...
At the moment, Jay is using he, they, and she.
No way of understanding it, and that person is abusing your lack of knowledge and your lack of understanding, your lack of comprehension on how like this ecosystem works to drive
Yeah, no, they know how the ecosystem works and they think that it's bad. Just saying, oh well, you're not part of it so you don't know. Well, you know, we do know, and we know what is ethical and what isn't. I'm sorry, just because it's the norm, or you know, it's part of the meta, like the fucking MasterChef meta. That's not a rebuttal. That's not like an ethical defense, like an argumentum ad populum. No, fuck, that's not a rebuttal.
more hateful engagement. He has a bigger YouTube channel than you. It's pretty funny how he is the little guy. He did a 4-hour video on Doctor Who. Don't steal content. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it doesn't matter. I'm sure they've done it. Yeah, Darkside Viper is a bigger YouTuber than me. He has a bigger YouTube channel than I do. The guys that are fucking yelling.
Interesting that they didn't flash up Jay's channel, considering that Jay is half the size of Hasan, but I digress.
About me and about others are not actually tiny fucking people. But the comparison, back to the comparison I was talking about. I tackle it head on. I yell about it. I'd never fucking cave. I never give in. And that probably makes me seem like a dickhead or a douchebag to the people that are not super aware of the issue, or the people that are looking at it and going, yeah.
Just actually engage with the criticism, Hasan, and people wouldn't have an issue. I mean, they probably would have an issue because you're a big fucking idiot, so you wouldn't have made proper, like, cogent rebuttals to the critiques that are being levied regardless, but who cares? Hey, Shiny Pokemon Inc., thank you very much for the subscription. Welcome to the No Justice stream.
It is kind of fucked up. This person's making some good points. Why is this guy yelling? I guess he just doesn't know how to deal with criticism. And then there's the XQC way of dealing with it. Doing a video on a show is not stealing content, you clown. Brother, that's just your point of view. It was a whole 1-hour video that boiled down to you should have asked to stream my content. Ironic the house video was just Jay reacting to Google's content. Well, I already
The chatters haven't watched the video either, and then they're unreliably then pushing the information onto Hasan, which is, again, wasn't the point of the video. Again, I've already mentioned what the actual critiques were, but don't react to my content unless you ask was not one of them. Was not one of them.
Fucking said he's right about that, and I apologize for it a year ago. So that's fucking crazy that he's still making videos about it when we agree supposedly on the issue. So for those of you who think that that's like actually
supposedly they agree. Does supposedly sound like a word someone who actually had watched the content would use? Because you'd think that if he'd actually watched the content, he would say definitely, or I'm sure, or this is the exact criticism that was made. But of course, we all know that he's not actually fucking watched the fucking video. We all know that he's not engaged with it. We all know that he hasn't, because again, he thinks this is the critique when it isn't.
Actually fucking totally in good faith. I don't know what to tell you, man. Come on, holy fuck. Like, how many times? Anyway, XQC deals with it by literally refusing to engage with it at all. And then Misgive deals with it by being like, this guy's a Clout shark, and then moving on. And being like, sarcasm, Clout shark, moving on.
Up at this interpretation, even though this is how most...
The reality is, I think XQC's way of dealing with it is the best.
Yeah, I've moved from no justice and I'm now in no peace mode.
I do that for some creators who have like shown routinely that this is the entire content. Their entire content is just like literally just being like whipping up drama, which by the way, if you think React content is fucking lazy, drama content is literally even lazier, because all you're doing is like angering one party, weaponizing your base to go there and further frustrate that person so they respond.
Yeah, at least in drama content you have to say and do and or create something, rather than reaction content or chair content where you don't even make something at all, you just use someone else's creation yourself, right? I think actually drama content is like a step above your video playing to your someone else's video playing to your chair, quite frankly.
To it, so then boom, you have free content, and all of a sudden you have like literally his clips that you can respond to piece by piece and make free content that is going to reach a larger audience. And then also to try to get the haters to join your community. That's all these motherfuckers are doing. I've actually seen some other content creators saying things like, I guess Hasan just gets up and lets a video play for an hour, etc. Clearly not getting that the chair is a meme. Yeah, I know. That's what's frustrating. Like, this has staying power, okay? It's like, fuck.
Not. It would. Imagine if we had an explicit example of somebody somebody's video being played when your chair is the only thing visible for a good half of the video, and you only add another 2 minutes of content to it. Imagine if there was a piece of media that we had that proved that there is at least a non-zero amount of times where that is the case. Very funny that who could possibly unfortunately that doesn't exist at all, so I guess we're stuck.
When you have like self-interested pieces of shit that are regularly gaslighting everyone, then yeah, some people are going to believe that after a while. They're going to unironically think like one of the top fucking Twitch streamers is just routinely leaving, just like playing a video and then walking the fuck away. That is so delusional. Just watch for yourself, dude. Just watch. That's all I urge you to do. I'm sure there.
Again, that happens a non-zero amount of the time on your stream. Again, if you'd have actually watched and engaged with the video, you'd know that Jay is well aware of the fact that it's not all the time. It's not something that you do literally half of every stream or whatever. But it happens enough, and happens regularly enough, that it is at least worth commenting on to try and get you to not do that in future. It's not hard. It's really not hard.
There are at least 100 people that came in here earlier today to be like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him good. I'm gonna notice. I'm gonna see for with my own 2 eyes that this motherfucker plays a video and then walks away all day. That's all he does. I hope if you're one of those 100 people that came in here with that POV, that maybe you now recognize that was fucking wrong, and that person was quite literally lying to you about the way that I make content, and hopefully you will be a little bit more, I don't know.
Again, you've not watched the videos, so that's not true.
Critical in the way that you approach your favorite content creators in your approach. Jay unironically said that in his video too. There's no serious convo. What do you mean? He said that that's all I do. I just sit around and let my chair do the reacting. That's why so many people are fucking saying that. By the way, I've ironically never watched this dude's video.
No, they didn't say that. Oh, at least Hasan's now admitting that he's not watched the video. Let me just have it go back a couple of seconds.
In his video too, there's no serious convo. What do you mean? He said that that's all I do. I just sit around and let my chair do the reacting. That's why so many people are fucking saying that. By the way, I've ironically never watched this dude's videos, and I will refuse to watch his videos because the original video that he made is about how I shouldn't watch his videos. And I know that he wants me to watch his videos on stream, but I don't know if he.
I don't know whether Hasan's talking about Jay or Viper at this point, because Viper's on the screen. But I'm pretty sure that Hasan's comment here is directed towards Jay, even with regards to the video that's been made. Because again, I know full well from watching enough of the issues that have been made and what Hasan has said in response to this. I know enough from watching this to make a pretty educated guess that Hasan has never watched the actual video essay that Jay did. It's even in the title, Jinx, Hasan Piker, and the issue of reaction content. It's even in the title that it's clear that it's not just about him. But he's so brain dead. He's not even looked at the title and made some inferences from that. He's just so fucking self-obsessed and self-centered that he thinks that anything involving him must revolve specifically around him, and not the ecosystem, not the Twitch meta, and not the other person who's literally named in the title of the video.
Actually said that. I don't know if he actually said that or not, but what I can tell you is this. His fan base absolutely thinks that, which is pretty funny because, again, other content creators have quite literally made jokes, like Casually Explained, have quite literally made jokes.
His initial tweets, at least the way that I and many others understood it. He starts by saying all reactors are bad people, so I mean, that's poisoning the well, as he says, and they've stolen millions of dollars from actual creators and stopped smaller creators from having a career. So to me, going into this document, that says that, okay, so reactors have stopped small creators from having a career, and every point he makes is going to be about how without the reactors, those small creators will be doing better. So this changed the way that I digested the information he was.
So where are the people? Like, I'm sure he has plenty of examples of like small content creators whose careers have absolutely been fucking hardcocked by disgusting, moist, critical Charlie just selfishly fucking reacting to their videos and then dying, them dying a fucking cold hard death.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with this critique of Dark Vipers, but whatever.
There's a consequence of like, not getting the views that they deserve. Charlie liking the J video is weird. They spend a decent amount of time just shitting on you. I mean, dude, I asked Ludwig and Ludwig said the same thing. He's like, dude, you just took fat L's on that one. Like L after L after L. I didn't actually watch the video itself. I have no idea what the fuck's in it. And he probably presented it in.
Yeah, okay. I now have confirmation of what I suspected. That Hasan is a massive fucking bitch baby and is just sending out like complete misinformation, completely incorrect information because he's not watched the fucking video. Well, at least now I have proof that he just doesn't even care enough to engage with the actual criticism. So at least we have our answer now.
In a way that makes it seem like I'm a fucking huge villain, you know what I mean? And I get heated. I speak for 8 hours continuously, so it's probably very easy to like whip me up into a frenzy and then like fucking turn it into a very good hit piece. So all these people agree with me in my perspective on these issues, and yet they probably still thought that it was like, it looked bad for me. Like, I assume there's like clip chimping and shit going on. I doubt that he ever fucking mentions that I apologize for it and agree with his perspective that like you shouldn't watch people who don't want to be watched. So I don't know. It doesn't. It's uncharitable. But the takeaway was react harder and shout out more. Yeah, I mean that's fucking stupid. I already do, and I will continue to do so. And the react harder thing is ridiculous. Hasan, stop talking about a video you didn't watch. It doesn't matter. I don't have to watch it to know that it's uncharitable. Okay, just take the L, LMAO. Exactly. This is the type of.
I don't have to watch it to know it's uncharitable. Well, at least we know this is how little Hasan thinks of anyone who might have a slight disagreement with him. Fair enough. I mean, at least he's honest. At least he's honest about how much of a cunt he is, but whatever.
Fucking idiot that comes in here as a consequence of this person fucking still consistently farming engagements, like hate engagements. It's really fucking gross. It's really disgusting. One, not only did I fucking apologize for it 1 year ago for a 5-minute video that I watched, okay, that he thought I wasn't actually watching, even though I was watching it on my phone. He went and straight up made an entire fucking video back then, despite me apologizing for it and saying I agree with him, because I did not have him on my broadcast. He wanted to come on the broadcast, and I was like, no. At that point, I was like, no shot.
Again, that's what I said before about just like swerving any debate in case it makes him look bad. But even so, again, because Hasan thinks that not reacting to this person's content is the original criticism, and the fact that he's not bothered engaging enough to want to know that that's not correct, he's got this in his mind, and this just continued onward as his assumption that wasn't even true in the first place, that has then poisoned his thoughts about everything that's come after that. And if he just spent 5 minutes, just 5 minutes re-engaging with that, he'd realise that that was not the point that was being made, and this whole mess could have gone away. But no, he's too foolhardy, too proud to want to admit that.
The reason why he figured out I watched his video to begin with, as I'm sure if he hasn't deleted those tweets from way back when, because I still remember it, is because he posted his analytics. He posted his metrics, showing a major fucking bump in his view counts.
A 200 viewer bump, Hasan! That's not a major view for someone who's getting millions of views on their videos. Are you fucking stupid? Do you literally have fucking shit for brains? I mean, again, obviously, this has been added in by the editor, so Hasan's not seeing it in real time, right? But I'm sorry, a 200 viewer bump is significant enough that you notice it, but it's not significant enough to realise that someone reacting to your content has given you some huge amount of additional revenue or additional viewer space or additional clicks or whatever.
On that video. And he posted it on his fucking Twitter. He was like, I wonder who's watching this now. And then found out that it was me, turned around and got very upset because I wasn't reacting hard enough. And then turned around and made a video a year ago. Then throughout the multiple times throughout the past year, despite the fact that I already apologized for it and agreed with him and said I'm never going to watch his videos ever again, because I did not have him on my broadcast immediately, he literally fucking made multiple videos, went on podcasts with like actual fucking Nazis and Sargon of Akkad, 8-hour-long reactions to my fucking stream, which I don't even have a problem with. Go ahead. Have fun. They made multiple 8-hour-long fucking podcasts with a bunch of fucking Nazis and shit like that. So that's ridiculous. And it's been an entire year and he's still making fucking videos about me watching a video of his 1 year ago. So what do you expect me to find charitable in that situation?
There's not much for me to add here, really. Again, I've said it all before.
That's fucking crazy. So I blocked them and I wanted to move on, but his fucking weirdo fan base still is getting in here and still trying to get me to fucking react to it. When the original point is that he doesn't want me to react to his video, so why would I do that? So you turn someone into a Nazi because you didn't react hard enough, LMFAO. I don't think that person is actually a fucking Nazi or whatever. But I do think that that person does not have a problem hanging out with Nazis as long as those Nazis are fucking shitting on me.
Okay, so the original criticism that I made of him saying that they are a Nazi isn't quite true, but he thinks that they're okay hanging out with Nazis, which is just not true.
You spit on my face and expect me to say thank you. I can't believe it's raining. Okay, you're pissing on my face and asking me to say it's fucking raining and I should be happy about it. Like if someone has made this much content out of one fucking infraction that is literally not only minor, but something that I already agreed with and apologized for 1 fucking year ago, then I'm sorry. I'm not going to fucking assume that this is like a reasonable person. I'm not going to assume that this is a reasonable criticism. I'm going to assume, perhaps correctly, that this person is farming negative hatred so that they can, you know, pick up on all of the people that fucking already despise me on the internet. There's plenty of them. You know what this means, right? Charlie is out of it, so prepare yourself to be the center of attention for the next 2 days with these 2 weirdos because he...
Again, if you just engage with the original content, he'd know that Jay doesn't hate him. I don't hate him. But this take is so bad, and it's so egregious, and it's so full of misinformation, and it's so damaging to other people's public standing with the smears and the slurs and the disinformation that he's wielding here, that we have to respond. And the fact that he's not engaging in good faith in that regard is making me even more angry with him. because I don't want to hate him. 2 days ago, I put a video out defending him, saying people saying that he's somehow a hypocrite for buying expensive cars is incorrect, because it was true. It's not correct, and not from any specific kind of reason that I have to want to make Hasan look good, because what should I care? He's, a 40k viewer Andy, as opposed to me, a fucking tiny person. I don't need to defend him specifically, but what I do need to do is make it very clear to people that what we should be using as a critique, as a socialist, is the productive forces that go into creating capitalism, not how the individual agents in capitalism choose to spend the money that they make. Because it's the system that's an issue, not the individual actions. Well, whatever. Go watch that video if you want to, see my insights into the San car thing. But by proxy, that becomes a defense of him. I don't hate him. I don't have negative feelings towards him specifically, but he's engaging in such egregiously poor actions that I'm forced to critique him. I'm forced to make these hit pieces, because otherwise he's never going to fucking learn. Assuming he ever watches this content, which he almost certainly won't, because even someone with 500,000 subscribers, he won't engage with their actual content in good faith, even in his own time, right? Why would he watch my stuff? But, I digress.
Capitulated and you did not. Now you're going to be in the center of the shitstorm and I can't handle it. I'm just not going to fucking respond after this. I would have never watched that dude's video. I would have never watched anyone's video. I'm only watching Charlie's videos. If Charlie doesn't do another video on it, I just will not watch it and I will not respond to it. I'll just fucking ban and move on.
But what I really don't appreciate even still is that comparison, that analogy that he defends so heavily about sexual abuse and React streamers. Even if I wasn't a React streamer, if I had never done it in my life, I would still take great issue with someone making a comparison like that. It's fucked up fair. And rightfully deserves to be called out. I don't think it's a defensible position to have. He's in the right to dunk on me for the other things that I did misunderstand. He's even making my dog upset right now with that comparison. She got one of her toys.
That comparison is absolutely fucking unfathomably fucked up, and it's one that debate lords regularly engage with. And the reason why it's unfathomably fucked up is because you are literally making light of something so disastrous and so violent, okay? So horrifying, by using it as a mere talking point against the people that you have decided are your enemies on the internet. It's fucking bullshit, dude. It's totally bullshit. It's not analogous, okay? Rape is not the only way that you can describe a lack of consent.
True. All true.
Okay? I don't know. Yeah. Someone should teach the fucking YouTube debate lords that. You and Cat, darkest TikToks, tier list guy, second thought, niggas not green, or some examples of people you.
I mean, that's true. Probably almost certainly would make fun of me for being British. But then again, I make fun of myself for being British because my country sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck as much as America, but it does suck.
Help their content by watching. Exactly.
Boy stuck under the TV, so I had to fish out for her. But the point I'm making, the comparison of React streamers to someone likely to commit sexual abuse that he has said, it's hyperbole, or in this video he calls it just like an analogy to compare the things, is still fucked up.
My point was, consent matters, and the idea of asking consent after you've already done the thing is clearly not good. That is not how consent works. And I made flippant offhand examples.
You're really far fucking removing the debate processes because rape and consent is the hot topic right now. Oh god, I never want to be anywhere near those spaces if that's what's going on. I really don't want to hear about fucking sweaty gamer bros and their fucking hot take.
Oh Destiny, oh Destiny. If there's one person who I have far worse things to say about this on, it is Destiny. But that's a video for another time.
It's on what means what consent is and how important it is.
Explicitly, my exact words were at the very end to highlight the absurdity of that position. If you meet a reactor at a party, I suggest covering your glass or outright tell them you don't want them to fuck you, because they seem keen to take a person's silence for consent.
Again, you did explicitly say it in your Twitter argument. It is still a shit analogy. It's not an okay comparison to make. Imagine an actual victim of sexual abuse reading that and having.
Also, can we have a round of applause for how much Charlie has matured over the years? This guy's genuine. I think he's a really smart guy, and for someone who previously has been a bit of a shitlord or whatever in some kind of wild past life, he's incredibly mature now, and he's incredibly reticent with a lot of the critiques that he's made. Sorry, not reticent. He's the critiques that have been made of him. He's taken them on board, which I think is really good, and I think he's happy to take all criticism in stride and take it on board when it's necessary. So I actually have a great deal of respect for the position that Charlie's taken with regards to this issue. So, fair play to the guy.
It trivialized to something like React streaming, like, oh, these two are now comparable. It's fucked up. And you got that response on Twitter as well, and you know that it's a bad position to take, and I wish you would just let it go and just say, yes, I got a little too heated and said something stupid. While yes, the issue of consenting to having your video reacted to is an important one, it's not okay to somehow use that to put these two on the same playing field almost, where sexual abuse and React streaming can be in the same sentence. It's not okay to do that. Yes, again, I do agree that getting permission to watch something on stream is important, which is why, going forward, even when given permission, I will not be watching the entire thing on stream anyway. I'm not changing my stance on that, but absolutely.
Again, these are critiques that I genuinely disagree with. I don't think you should have to not watch the entire video. I don't think you should have to only ever watch people's videos if you have explicit consent for any of that video to be on your screen at that time. And I don't think that's a salient critique. I don't think it's a critique or like something as like a level of etiquette that we should all engage in. That it's ever something that you'd be able to set up. It's too far removed from what is pragmatic in this space. But I don't think that it's somehow intellectual theft or whatever, in that how I made to compared to when you're freebooting content to entertain your audience in lieu of your own content. I think the fact that by doing a reaction that at least creates something transformative, creates something new, creates something that, were you not there, wouldn't be drawing as much watch time as it was. If people are there to see you and see what you're creating from this other piece of content by adding something extra, enough as much so that they wouldn't get as much if they just watched the original content, I think that's fine. I think that's transformative enough to create something new, create a new piece of content, create a response, a rebuttal. I think that's reasonable. Again, so I disagree with the Tabernacle on this issue too. But the fact that, again, the original critiques that Jay made, which I do agree with, Hasan just hasn't bothered taking into account.
Absolutely. I took a peanut butter and LE sandwich on a lot.
No, he didn't. He did not. Like, the fucking things that he quote unquote took an L on are ridiculous, dude. I don't know. I can't tell if Charlie's doing this because he's like the nicest person ever, or if he's doing it to come across more reasonable and like, you know, you gotta fucking cave a little bit. You gotta like make it seem like, you know, the other side your interlocutors made some good points, specifically so that you can like win over their audience or make their audience more receptive. My honest assumption here, or my honest take on this, is that like he is way too charitable and way too nice to people who are very clearly trying to fucking farm off of his likeness, off of his clout, all of that.
I thought he was saying, because I got it wrong. I really did. And he was right to defend it as he did in this video.
Wait a second. This is just React content. And the last video I watched was just him repeating stuff he'd seen on Twitter and with a few dick jokes. Why am I watching this? There has to be better content out there than this. If you read some of the comments under my original community post, many people had the same view. You were once upon a time a decent content creator.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, dude, I'm losing my mind on behalf of Charlie. I'm gonna yell at him. Dude, he's so fucked up, this guy. Why is he so fucking nice? He watched this entire video and this guy's like saying you make shit content. You fucking clout goblin, dude. What a fucking freak, dude. Holy.
Like, I do think Viper is being unfair here, but, you know, Hasan doesn't need to react in this manner.
Holy shit. My lord, what a freak, dude. Oh, your content fucking sucks. Shut the fuck up, dude. Are you kidding me?
Was that supposed to be an Australian accent there, Hasan? For someone who usually has good impressions, that was pretty embarrassing.
Oh, God. Oh, it is so gross, dude. Holy shit. Why did you apologize? Oh, my God.
Become rich and lazy.
This has nothing to do with his points at all. It's more of just an ad hominem thing, but it is something I do want to talk about because it's super weird to me when people say I was once upon a time a decent content creator, but I'm lazy now. My content pre-2016, I would sit down for 10 minutes, play a game, and just make a checklist mentally, and I've talked about this, where I'd say cock at least 3 times, cum, titties, and nipples. That was every piece of content I made from fucking 2010 to like 2016. And then I started branching into other forms of content that I just have a lot more fun doing.
Dude, I'm still mad. I'm still fucking angry. Oh my god. I can't, like... Oh, your content fucking sucks now. That's the worst kind of fan. They're doing that
Okay, that was a slightly better attempt at an Australian accent there, son.
Exclusively so they can get one on you. It is so fucked up, bro. You are edging into parasocial behavior. The difference between parasocial behavior is that I know Charlie personally. I'm a content creator and not like a guy who fucking appreciates what Charlie does from afar. That's why I'm, you know, I think justifiably and reasonably angry.
So what's going on with the focus on Dark Viper's camera? Why is it stretching his face?
And it's a little bit different than parasocial behavior, considering that that dude is saying similar things about me as well. It's not Charlie is the only person that he fucking literally compared to a rapist. He did that to me as well. So it's a little weird that you are making that out to be a parasocial thing.
Content out there than this. If you read some of the comments under my original community post, many people had this.
Yeah, like, it's so gross. What a fucking gross thing to say.
Just being fully transparent with the mask off, this is something that's always hurt me over the last few years, where people say that my glory days were back then, like the 2010 to 2015 content, because I was fucking miserable making it. It was literally a mental checklist of mentioning penis, cum, and titties. I don't think any of it was really all that great, and I'd always say like XD random shit. Whoa, this is look at this. I'm going so fast it'll put titties on a cactus. Oh man, you gotta be rubbing my ass cheek with 5 bricks, but not 6 because 6 bricks is the shits. Like, none of that I really think is like good stuff, but people always reference it like that's when Charlie was at his best. He was so fucking happy doing it. It was great. And I don't get it because now I'm doing so many different things and I'm not just a one-trick pony mentioning nipples and cock.
Well, that's a wonderful way to end it on. But then again, as we have seen from them, as we have seen from this video, we learned that I was absolutely right. I was absolutely right. Hasan has never watched Jay's video, so they don't know what the critiques was. He didn't know what the critique was originally when the drama ever broke. He didn't know what the critique was then. He misunderstood what that critique was, has run with it for 5 months, apparently a year, but actually no, it was only 5 months, Hasan. That's how time works. He's completely run with that. He's then smeared this person as being someone who hangs around with Nazis or is sympathetic to Nazis, which also is not the case. Said they were on an 8-hour kill stream to be able to talk about them. That wasn't the case. He's then doubled down, put it into a long-form YouTube content that's been viewed by hundreds of thousands of people, to then even further spread this disinformation about Jay, just because Jay made a stream and a video about why the actions that Hasan takes in the specific instances where he's not properly reacting and just using other people's content to be able to entertain his audience. Right? He's not engaged with any of this. He said he's improved that he's not engaged with any of this by the comments that he's made and the fact that he's not responding to the actual critiques that's been made by multiple different people. Hasan is a little fucking bitch, baby. He's a coward and he's a liar. And it's disgusting. And he should do a public apology on his YouTube channel, on his Twitch, on his Twitter, in his community posts, saying that, I'm sorry I called JXE a Nazi, and in future, when people make these critiques, I'm actually going to properly respond to them, rather than just smearing people and not bother entertaining it. Simple. That's what he should do. I am under no illusion that he will. I think he'll just blissfully drift away along through his millionaire's lifestyle without caring about the impact of his actions. And quite frankly, if anything will make him a hypocritic socialist, it's this. So yeah, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Unless you're a Hasan viewer, in which case either you agreed with my takes here, or you're sympathetic to it, in which case, thank you. I appreciate you sticking to the end. Or you're a Hasan viewer who is in my comments right now, being another little bitch baby, whining about me criticising your parasocial daddy, in which case you can go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. Fuck off.